So Kimi K3 just got released, and it's the #1 front-end model on the Arena. I'm going to show you exactly how you can set it up in your Claude Code and how you can make this viral visual in under 10 minutes. So this is Kimi K3. It's the latest open source model from Moonshot AI Labs. And this video on the right here is their launch video, which they said was entirely edited and created by Kimi K3 itself. In this video, we're going to cover what exactly Kimi K3 is. We're going to set it up in Claude Code, and then we're going to recreate this viral style templated video on the right here where you can compare Kimi K3, Fable 5, and GPT-5.6 Sol, giving different prompts to Dance. So it's a 2.8 trillion parameter mixture of experts model with a 1 million context window, and the pricing is equivalent to Sonnet, which is pretty insane because Kimi K3 consistently outperforms Opus 4.8 in a lot of tasks. This is Frontend Code Arena. It ranks models based on blind votes on real front-end tasks. So people compare two outputs and then pick one. So it's not a lab that's like grading its own homework. And you can see row 18, we had the old Kimi K2.6 model, and now it's all the way up in first place. So they went from 18th to first place in one release. So if you use like models for design work, for UI, pretty much anything that a person ends up looking at, this is the chart that matters most to you. That's just the front end board though, and I don't want to oversell it because Kimi K3 actually does sit around the third place and the second place on most of the general coding and agentic benchmarks. So here you can see that above it most of the time is Fable 5, and it does beat GPT 5.6 a lot of the time as well. And honestly, this is the part that puts real pressure on Anthropic and OpenAI, because being this close to the top used to mean that you had to pay huge premium for it. And now you can get a model that's the equivalent to GPT 5.6 and even better than Opus 4.8 for the price of Sonnet. Before I show you how you can set this model up, I'll just go through a few of the catches. Firstly, there's no open weights yet. They've said that they're going to release the open weights on July 27th, but as of today, there's nothing public yet. Another one is that it's slow on hard tasks. So a user reported that it took up to 35 minutes for a single front-end task. And then the third one is that it trains on your traffic. So anything that you're sending it through the API, it's going to train its future models on that. And it is a Chinese model, so you never know what's going to happen with that data. All right, so let's jump into the setup. All right, so the first step is getting our key. And to get our key, we're going to go to kimi.com. You're going to want to log in, and then you're going to need to get on the cheapest plan. So just come down to your name down the bottom here, click on upgrade plan. And then I've just chosen this plan here, but you can choose any of the plans. They all come with K3. And this beats out using the API, because if you're going to use the API, you're going to have to pay for that usage fee, which is going to end up being more than if you're just going to use the plan. Now that we're logged in and subscribed to our plan, we need to go to the console page to get our API key. So I'm going to go to Kimi Code. Then I'm going to go to console. Next, we just want to create an API key. So just name it whatever you want. Click create. Then you need to copy this key here. And we're just going to take this key into Claude Code now. All right, so I got my key copied, and now I'm in VS Code with the Claude Code plugin installed. I'm just going to paste the key in here and say, please set up Kimi K3 for me so I can use it as a sub agent. One thing to know though is that an API key is essentially a password. And I've just pasted this one in here because it's just a $20 burner, and I can cancel that key anytime on their site. So I just wouldn't paste any important keys that matter directly into your Claude Code chat. I definitely put them straight into your .env file. All right, so Claude just got back to me about 2 minutes later saying Kimi K3 sub agent is done. TLDR, Kimi Builder, a sub agent is set up and the key is verified working. New agent types load at session start, so it becomes spawnable after your next /clear. Now I'm just going to paste this in and say, how can we use this sub agent? Kimi's now set up fully in my Claude Code as a sub agent. So whenever I want to use Kimi, I'll just tell Claude to use that Kimi sub agent. So now we'll jump into creating an actual test. So we're going to use this example here, which is through the Wireflow API. And Wireflow is just a creative node-based canvas that lets us add prompts and then connect those prompts to video models or image models. So for this example, we're going to have Kimi create a creative prompt based on this still image here. And then we're going to have Fable 5 create a prompt, as well as GPT 5.6 create a prompt. And then we're going to see what those different outputs look like side by side. Next steps are we just have to set up the Wireflow API. So I'm just going to come to wireflow.ai/API, then I'm going to click get the key, and then it's going to take me to /settings. And then in here, I'm going to click on API keys and then click on create a new key. Just name it Kimi, create key, copy this key, and we're just going to do the exact same process as before with the Kimi key. So I'm just going to paste it in here and say, please set up my API key for Wireflow's API. So our Wireflow key is set up now and it's confirmed working. So now we're going to go back to Wireflow. This is the template that we're using. So it's a 1 start frame, 3 AI directors, Kimi K3, Claude Fable 5, and GPT 5.6. So once you have everything set up, you just click on use this template, and then it will open the template, which looks like this. And you can actually run the workflow from in here, but we're going to use Claude Code to write all the prompts, inject the prompts in the workflow, and then we'll come back to the workflow and run the actual Seedance nodes one at a time. Because we have Claude Code already connected to our Wireflow account, we can just grab this URL here, come back to our Claude Code with Kimi, and just paste the URL and say, can you learn this workflow? I'm going to want to change the prompts. Okay, so it said, TLDR, it's a 3-way AI directors comparison flow. One shared start frame fans out into 3 Seedance 2 nodes, each driven by a different model's motion prompt. All right, so next we're going to write, please spawn 3 different sub-agents, 1 Kimi K3, 1 Fable, and 1 GPT 5.6, and have them each look at the reference image, then create their own motion prompt and insert it into the relevant text box, please. So Claude Code has just replied and it said, done. All 3 models viewed the actual start frame, wrote their own motion prompt, and the prompts are live within the flow. So you can see Kimi K3, 110 words, and then it kind of describes the different actions and motions that each one of them took here. And so now we can go back into the flow, and you can see that this has already changed. Each prompt has been automatically inserted into their prompt box here. And then you can see these purple lines here. This is the text connector. So it's connecting into the Seedance 2 here. And then this start frame is also getting connected. So each of these videos starts from the same start frame. But then the language models can take it in different directions. And so I've already run these models, and this was the output. And the next steps in this workflow is essentially a image compositor. So it's just going to use these black overlays, and then it's sending this into a video editor. And this is essentially just putting those overlays on those Seedance 2 clips here so that we can post this on Twitter or LinkedIn. So everything I've showed in this video so far, I'll include it in the description, including this template here, which also includes a skill in it to set up those sub-agents in Claude Code. So hopefully you guys found this tutorial useful and you're able to set up Kimi K3 for yourselves.